when I joined radio as a studio manager, making sound effects, playing gramophone records, both of music and of effects, it was just after the great days of BBC Radio, which I imagine would have been the 50s, the under Milkwood generation, the Louis MacNeice generation. It was just coming to the end. So a few of those producers were still around, propping up the bar of the George and the club in what is now the Langham Hilton, but then rather slightly grubby BBC club. And they had a great feeling of pride, both in radio and as against the Johnny-come-lately upstart commoner's muck television. And I learnt as soon as I started to work in Broadcasting House that there were two kinds of people. There were the broadcasters, who were radio people, and there were the riffraff, who were the television people. And people almost lowered their voices when they talked about studio managers who'd gone on to television. But one of them was a lovely guy, Colin Charman, who worked in light entertainment in television, and he let me stand in a gallery, I'll never forget it, and watch Steptoe and Son, Duncan Wood directing Steptoe and Son, and that's when I saw that every shot was composed like a Vermeer picture with architecturally and with foreground and background, and I suddenly saw the team of people and all the skills working together. And I think I was also, Biddy Baxter was an ex-studio manager in radio, and she was then editor of Blue Peter, and she let me go into the gallery of Blue Peter. And I watched I can't quite remember who was presenting, but whoever it was, they were making icing sugar snowmen, must have been Christmas time, which melted slowly under the lights. And they really did say, here's one I prepared earlier, and got a nice frozen jaunty snowman out and showed us. And I came back with my head whirling, and I thought, well, it may not be the fashionable thing to say in radio, but that's a world I would love to be part of.
And so you became a researcher?
Yes, I had to, it was quite difficult. I resigned from the radio because I was made to make the sound of a falling body, and I did so. The only way was by falling over, so I fell over several times until the producer, Betty Davis, decided I was making the right thud, by which time I was considerably bruised, so I limped up and resigned in triplicate. My boss said I need only have resigned once, but there you are, always slightly melodramatic. So I resigned in triplicate, then spent 6 months on the dole, which I've never forgotten, which was soul-destroying, horrible.